This dog is like right under.
Hello. We got our doggy here is like not wanting to leave the office. I just want to sit on my mama's feet. I want to see if there's any dog lovers in here. I am slightly obsessed. I don't believe humans deserve dogs. They're absolutely amazing. And today we actually want to talk about how to double your business in 2024. We want to give you some good, valuable tips on what it's going to take for you, some stories of how we've actually done this, actually more than doubled our business and other people's business. First things first, here's probably 4 things that you really need to be able to double your business.
Yeah. So one of the big things is, being able to go from small packages, one-on-one coaching per session, and being able to take those and being able to go into something larger, right? We've had several clients that were charging, $100, $80, $150, $200 to then move into $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, whatever, $5,000 packages. And that is one of the easiest ways that you can, double your business like right away.
As I'm thinking, I'm like, there's probably a lot more than 4 ways, and we're just going to give you 4. But I think it's really important that how you structure your coaching program and your business model, it can look like a lot of different things. It can, like, we're not saying to absolutely take out one-on-one. Like, we actually do some one-on-one, and I'm all for it because I believe, especially if you're getting going, if you're under 10,000 a month, like what you want to really be focusing on is becoming the best possible coach, knowing your processes, you're developing your processes, and you're putting everything together. And where I see that doesn't work is charging per session or not having a program or an offer or anything structured put together. And it could just be like, I'll charge you by the session, or we'll do like a month and see how it works. So just this little shift of, and I would even say if you're under 10,000, is structuring your one-on-one offers to be more effective for your time and what you're doing. And if you're over $10,000, I would say having your program and your model is really important. All of this is really important in alignment to your soul gifts, but being able to create, now that you have your process and your structure going, how can you create even more value for your clients? And then even having the upsell on the back end of that. So like, okay, you have your first level, but then what's next for your clients, and even adding in what's next, depending on what income level you are in your client, like in your client journey and your coaching journey, is like, that could be another way. The second way that can double your business in 2024, and I believe that this starts like now, here we are, start thinking about this from now to like forever, is something that you always want to be doing is you're always building your audience. You're always bringing new people in. You always want to be nurturing them, connecting with them, creating incredible content that speaks to them, showing up for them, showing up with them. And then ultimately, like, what we've found is to do this period of like nurturing, creating great content, building relationships, showing up, whether it's doing stories, doing lives like this, doing, posts that are really engaging and speaking your people's what they need in their life, and then seeing that there's a pathway, and then having really incredible virtual events of some kind. I think virtual events are probably one of our specialties. I think we really nail how you can do a virtual event so that it's different than everyone else. This isn't doing like a webinar or just a challenge. Like, you're creating an experience for people, and that can be a great way to build momentum.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a specific. So you see a lot of people, and I don't recommend going out and running summits because they seem like a ton of work. You're like herding cats, like trying to get the speakers to invite people and show up on time and do all the things. But in a strategy that it works really well for you and that it's in your alignment, you see people build these pretty large lists using summits. And then right afterwards, you always see them do like a challenge or a webinar or a workshop or something. And then they enroll people into whatever their thing is. And so what this does is it's a way to build the list, to nurture, to get your name out there, all of that. And then boom, now you can invite them to something else. But you can do other things. We did it with a podcast. When we launched our first podcast, we had thousands, maybe like hundreds of people like coming and listening to our first episode of our podcast, leaving us a review and all of that. And then the week or 2 weeks after we launch our podcast, we do a workshop or a challenge or something. And then boom, we get a bunch of clients.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. So you can we've even used our birthdays, holidays, it's Tuesday. Yeah, if you have a book, you get to create something. We talk about this with our high level clients all the time, especially recently. This has come up. One of our clients said it once. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so genius. Is everyone loves to be invited to a party, right? So where are you creating parties within your audience and in your coaching business that you can bring people to?
Yeah. Right? Well, I think the other thing is it's like wrapping it around something that's going on right now. Like right now is Christmas. Like we have the holidays. You might be a weight loss coach. It's like lose 5 pounds before the end of the year. It could be, detox before you start like peeling weight off, whatever. I don't know what your thing is, but, we have a few coaches right now that are running challenges. We have one that has a detox program going. We have another one doing, a weight loss challenge. And so it's like different things. Like how can you make it relevant to the now?
To whatever's going on. And this could be like during the holidays, you got Valentine's Day, you got, what are other holidays? Halloween, Thanksgiving, there's Black Friday. I mean, literally there's these Hallmark holidays that are created throughout the year. Like I'm like, is there an International Dog Day? I feel like that's a great time to celebrate. We don't quite do that in our house yet, but maybe that needs to be a thing. But whatever that thing is like use what's going on. The Barbie movie. The Barbie movie was huge. Like all of a sudden everyone was wearing pink and they're talking about Barbie. And then there's this big thing of like masculine and feminine and Ken and, all the things. But it created like a stir and a momentum and a conversation within your audience. And then you can use that stir and momentum.
The Barbie challenge.
And create, then create some sort of virtual experience that's really highly valuable for your clients. And with that, I want to tack on the third thing, which is really alignment. Like there's an energetics to everything that you do, everything, right? I don't think it's like a little known fact anymore, which I'm so grateful for, is that people know, feel, and recognize that everything is energy. And when you get to, I'm like, you need to, but I won't shit on you or like, but there's such an emphasis on the importance of the energy that you put with everything, that the alignment piece, like, if you're in alignment or not, right? Like you just know.
Yeah.
You feel it in your body. And there's a difference between being in alignment. I'm sorry, I want to hear what you have to say, and there's a difference between being in alignment and then like feeling resistance of fear of being able to step into your next level.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So it's okay. I know I'm like in this flow here. So there's a level of discernment and life mastery that you get to really be aware of. So as you're creating these events, as you're pricing your programs, as you're creating your programs and your offers, you can recognize the difference in your body and how it feels of, is this in alignment or is this fear and resistance that I need to break through to get to my next level? That is really key in your personal power and awareness.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's like, I know one of the first times we doubled our business, we were doing about maybe $10,000 a month. And we had this like crazy circumstance opportunity. And it's like, we got to choose, right? We got a notification on our door that we were being evicted because
not because we didn't pay our bill.
Not because we didn't pay our bill, but because our dog wouldn't stop barking.
He's such a good boy. Yeah. And I said, forget this house. I am not getting rid of my dog.
And so we got to choose, and we could have been a victim, like, oh, they like all this stuff or whatever. And we looked around in Michigan and we didn't see anything that we wanted to be at. And we decided or chose that we are going to go somewhere that we've never been before, where we actually end up moving all the way to Florida. And we didn't have anywhere to go. We didn't have a house. We didn't have, so we just went nomadic, and we thought we were going to find something in a week or so, but nothing.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, market was hot, and we basically had to go online and go, we'll take that one. And in like 3 weeks, we could move in on into this house that we're at now, and it's beautiful, and I would show you, but I'd have to turn everything around. And so
lo and behold, it is on the water. It is by a state park. We've been here for a few years now, and it's important to use the circumstances that happen with us, right? Because life happens. Life will always happen, right? And just like, I have a 3-year-old, baby, I'm trying to do it. Like, I could have made that a whole bunch of stuff, and it's fine. Just like, come join us. So when circumstances happen, you have two choices. You can either, one, let the circumstance completely stop you, right? And I will say in all of this, like, you get to work through the feelings and the emotions and the things that happen. And I would say the more your emotional intelligence goes up, that's why I love working with coaches. We have the tools to be able to work through our stuff, work through it, don't bypass it, and let it fuel you. Don't let it stop you.
Yeah. And so that was like one of the first times we doubled our business. Actually, we did way more. We ended up signing $50,000 worth of clients that month. And then a year and a half or so later, we're rolling in, we're doing about $20,000 to $30,000 a month, consistently cash collected. And I remember you were learning the level 3 of the energetics work that you do. And you're like, you know what, let's do something here. It's all about the probabilities and the possibilities and all of this. And like, if we get to be aligned in our business and we can work this out, that basically you gave us a list of like, we need to do this, and this to be in full alignment for $100,000 a month. And it's crazy. A month later, we signed $122,000 worth of clients in that month. And it was just so powerful, watching that whole process work. Right. And this is us, right? So, now we've had other clients. We had one client, she came in and we've had several clients over a year, like double or triple their business. And we had one specifically, she was doing about $10,000 to $15,000. And she was one of those clients that was doing all one-on-one, didn't have a leverage program, was like taxed, like working like 80, 90 hours a week. And so we helped her create the program, and she was able to get her time down to, 30 hours a week, which high five, that's great. Got up to $25,000 a month. And, kind of dipped back down a little bit. And she got on one of these business energetics that Holly does. And what was her intention?
Her intention was 20,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girlfriend, you're already here. So something that I do is I work in the energetics through probability and possibility, right? I am not a fortune teller. I wouldn't even consider myself a psychic. I have very strong intuition. And what I do is my training is in reading the energetics. And so when we have this financial intention of what it is that we want to create in our life, what I'm able to do is find the probabilities and the possibilities of the actions that you're taking right now. Is it in alignment to those financial intentions of what it is that you're out for? And so for her specifically, she was already there. It was like a 90% probability and possibility. Like, it was just a matter of time before she hit this. So I was like, okay, you're already here. So I actually did this session with the intention of $50,000 a month. And so that's what we did. And we went through and we made a list and like, this is what you need to be doing and all of the things. And lo and behold, a few months later, we got on a call and she just had this look on her face. She was glowing. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, I did it. I'm like, I knew you were going to. So that's the power of this energetic piece, and alignment is so huge. So like feeling it in your body and then also having these tools, it's almost like you're cheating. Just saying.
Yeah. And then we had another client, he was doing about $4,000 a month in his coaching. He took a little bit of break and he came back and he did a session with you. And you said that you guys like really handled some major deep stuff that was blocking him from, receiving money, from, all of that stuff. So talk about, what you guys were able to work through, and then we can talk about what his results were after that.
Yeah. So, just keeping confidentiality and all of that, I'm going to speak very loosely. So a lot of times things that happen in our world are stored in our subconscious and in our cellular memory, and they speak louder than our conscious sometimes. Right. So what was happening is we got to dive down and see the root of what was causing him to not show up, to have these income blocks, to, he was doing all the work, he was doing all of the things, and it just wasn't sparking for him. Right. Well, then we found the root and we became aware of the root. And there was something that just had happened in his family, and he had created a story for himself around being safe to be able to succeed. And so we worked through that. We were able to clear the stuff out of his cellular memory. We were able to rewire some things in his subconscious. And literally, he more than doubled. He actually like 10x'd his business this past year, which is huge. It's huge.
Yeah, he was actually able to do, I think it was like 47,000 in like 40 days, and then end up doing like 57,000 over like a 50-day period. And then now I think he's over like 250,000. And that was with like kind of a low start of the year, right? That was in the middle of summer. So,
yeah.
And when he did like 20,000 the year before. So yeah, it's like you can double or you can 10x your business. You get to kind of choose, and it's like getting rid of the blocks and the limitations and the things that are stopping you, plus doing the alignment work, plus coming up with a strategy that's in alignment with you. If you get all of those dialed in, plus the program that is leveraged and is going to make the difference with the people, that can handle a bunch of clients, you can charge a bunch for, you have all of these, it's like North Stars all lined up, and it's like.
And then the topper of this is trusting yourself and trusting the energetics and trusting the alignment. And because the moment you doubt if this is this true? Is this real? Like, is this impossible? Am I blah, 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 blah? You just put a damper on the whole thing. Yep. Right. So I would say one of the key pieces to all of this is trusting yourself and trusting what comes up in your alignment. There's a lot of things like you could have this bright idea, like, oh my gosh, I got this huge inspiration. I'm like, I definitely want to do this. This is incredible. And then you don't move on that right away. Like you go shopping or, life comes up, all of these things. And then what happens over time is you're like, yeah, but is that unrealistic? Like, what if this doesn't work? Or all of those things that can start dampening that energy do. Right. So when you hear something or when you feel something or when this idea comes up, like moving in that inspired action is the way, and trusting yourself to go through that and to just go. Like it could be I'm telling you, like if you are out for doubling, 10xing, 5x, like whatever you want to do in your business, it is going to take something different than what it is that you're doing now. And it's probably going to be unreasonable, and it's probably going to be crazy to everybody else. But you get to trust yourself and trust that flow and that intuition that you have to be able to do completely different things than what it is that you currently are doing now. And to follow that, even when maybe sometimes everyone else around you thinks you're crazy.
Yep.
Because that is going to be the energy, the action. Like energy will never die, but it can always transform, right? And it transforms through action. You hear like energy is emotion through energy, or emotion is energy and action. So being able to follow the energy and follow your intuition and follow your self-trust, and having all of these other tools is like sweet spot.
So we're going to be going live all the time over the next until by the end of the year.
Day, hashtag slay the holidays. Let's go.
Yes. And one of the main things that we have is for you as something to kind of really get the basis around everything that we do is our 50K by Christmas event that we did in October. The link will be down in the description or up here or somewhere. Just go ahead and find that link, click on it, register. It's a really badass training. And if you want support around doubling your coaching business, just drop a like, I'm in, and we'll reach out and have a conversation and see if it's a good fit. Cool.
Awesome.
Peace out.